Hello, Dr. Miriam here. Welcome to my channel. Super excited. If you want some insight into what this channel is about, then please look at the intro video. Today, we are going to go pretty outside the box. We're going to go pretty high level and talk like awareness of God, the energy that is God, universe, source. And then I'm going to bring that back down to relationships. Why am I choosing that? Because I think it's important that we understand how we're all created and then bring that down into what I love, which is relationships. And like, why are they so challenging? And how do we, I think, in understanding each one of us, the masculine and the feminine, right? So typically male, female, but it's masculine, feminine energy. And these same wounds can exist in non-masculine, feminine relationships, right? It's just whichever of the two has more of the masculine component, whichever of the two have more of the feminine component, or feminine energy. And that's everything. I mean, that's a life. Like every single one of us is like wanting a relationship, looking for a relationship. So if you're interested in learning more, stay tuned. Okay. I'm gonna start by saying, I definitely take notes, there's a lot to remember. So I do create some content ahead of time and take notes. And so I will reference them all the time. So you'll see me looking down, I'm just looking down my notes and I will read from them. But I think what's important to understand is what I say is from lived experience. You can tell in the authenticity of the things that I say and the way that I say them, that this is lived experience. And so let's dive in. So this is like the why is everything so hard and also so beautiful about being here on the earth. So life is not a random series of events. It is a magnificent, divine, and often fucked up and brilliant play that our souls choose to enter. There is if you haven't heard of Bashar is an entity that channels through Daryl Anka, so you can look him up. But he had this quote and it stuck with me, and it was just there was a video I was watching and he was talking about how life is meaningless. And not that it's actually meaningless, it's that it is meaningless in the sense of it is essentially neutral. The events are neutral, but the meaning you give it is the meaning of life. So it's not that it's meaningless, it's that the meaning you give it is the meaning of life. And so our job, our sacred job, is to give life meaning. And then God experiences through us what life is. And so when I say God, I want to be clear that for some of us, for some of you, God has a connotation potentially of something that doesn't resonate with you, and I'd like you to check in and see if it's just not the idea of the God that you learned maybe in church, or maybe in somewhere that kind of God, the God that is punishing, the God that is very judgmental, the God that has a lot of human characteristics, doesn't jive with you. Yeah, me either. Because the energy that is God, the energy that created the cosmos, the energy that we are an extension of, is not human, is an energy. And B does not have human characteristics. Like the energy that created all of this, all of everything here, it's not a petty human. And so if that doesn't resonate with you, and using the term universe, source, anything beyond that, then by all means, like as I say that word, it can mean anything. Whatever it means to you, that is the energy I'm speaking of. So source is a single perfect note of love that chose to shatter. So I will often reference the one consciousness. So that energy chose to shatter into a billion fragments, which is us, for the sole purpose of experiencing the magnificent symphony of relationships, of contrast, of harmony, of all of the emotions, in the essential state of love, in our soul state of love. The depth of emotions cannot be experienced in the same way on the soul side that it can on the earth side, where we have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten the essence of our being, the magnificence of us as divine extensions of God. And so the great forgetting, which is the earth mission. So know this, that earth is one of the most difficult and most courageous of all theaters, because we agree to forget that we are divine beings. So the very notion of us coming into this life, onto this earth, know that you are not small peanuts. You may feel it here, and if you do, my heart goes out to you, but you are not small. You are a divine extension of God, but we came here choosing to forget, because it is all the ways in which we go through remembering our divine essence, removing those things that are not part of our divine being. That's what we learn, all those and I'll get to that in another video, the wounds and how that looks and manifests, and what's happening in our woundedness, because it's not just ours, it's our parents, their parents, it's what's happening around us. So we'll get to that in more videos, but the forgetting is it's the price for admission to the most authentic experience, the authentic expression possible, the terror of being lost and the magnificent soul-shattering joy of being found. And so when I reference in videos the idea of coming home, that is finding yourself, that is being found. And so the master curriculum, so what's the whole curriculum that we're meant to follow here in our forgetting, is souls in human form that forgot that we were these magnificent souls that are divine extensions of God. It's that the depth of our shadows, which I was just talking about, like that, those parts of us that we have forgotten, that's your shadow work. So the depth of your shadow, the pain of your struggle, this is not a sign that you are weak. It's a law of what energetic proportionality. Basically, the idea that the magnitude of your soul's light, which our lights are very big, right? We are not small, is directly proportional to the pain of its confinement. You were given the most difficult curriculum because you are one of the most magnificent souls. And I mean this to every single one of you watching here. This is not a mistake that you found this. This is not a mistake that you're hearing this, because you feel it and you feel the call. And the minute this video goes out, any and everybody that is meant to hear this message is going to hear this message. That's how energetics work. It's not me. It's soul side. But that very idea that the depth of your pain is proportional to the vastness, the radiance of your being, is this idea that your soul, or this feeling of being stuck in a tiny box, is because you are. Because your soul is so expansive and so big, and it is just stuck. And that creates a great deal of pain, because you are this, like an on screen, trying to fit into this little hole. Doesn't work well. It's very painful. I mean, imagine trying to fit, like, size 11 feet. Yeah, that's me. You'd think I'd be like 6'5", but I'm not. 5'9". Into like a size 1 shoe. Ow, doesn't work. That's what you're doing. That's the pain you're feeling. And so that's the idea of this law of energetic proportionality, is that you are this big trying to fit into this, and then wondering why you are struggling so much, wondering why there are so many people being put on anti-anxiety, anti-depression meds, having tons of physical illness. It is not by chance. No. But there's a solution. There's lots of solutions. And that's part of what I'm here for, is to guide you through that. To be the one that can see beyond the stories, to be the one that can help you interpret the story behind the story that I see. As a medical provider and a medium, spiritual medium, and someone that has gone through the depths of the deepest parts of my shadow. And that is a large part of what I'm here to do, is to help you guide yourself back. Can't do it for you, but I can definitely guide you in the direction of your own healing. Okay, so that was my high level. Actually, I'm gonna make this 2 videos. So, go to part 2, and we're gonna talk about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Subscribe, share this, give it to somebody who thinks, you think could use the insight and information. But we're gonna split this. So part 1 is this. Part 2, we're gonna go dive into the divine masculine, divine feminine, because everything is relationships. That's all of our life here, and so let's go there next. All right, bye.